Good morning, everyone. We are continuing here in the words of the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch in the laws of additional prohibitions on Shabbos, specifically focusing in on Amir La'akum, what we are allowed to tell a non-Jew to do or not to do, and the kind of benefits that we are allowed to reap from his actions. Says the Kitzur the following: Akum Hameviyim Tivua Liyisab B'Chayvosehem. If a non-Jew owes a Jew a payment for a loan, and he decides to bring grain. This was very common in those days. That's how they would pay things back. He brings grain of his own to pay back the loan to the Jew. And the Jew ends up giving him the key to his granary. And now the non-Jew goes in and he measures and he counts out the amount of the grain and he unloads it inside of the granary over there. Mutter, says the Kitzur, you're allowed to do such a thing. Why? Mishum da'akum b'meleches atzmo oisek. Because the non-Jew over here, he's not doing any malacha for the sake of the Jew, but rather he's engaged in his own work at this point. Why? Because the tevuah, the grain, does not belong to the Yid, to the Jew, until after it's been measured. So while the non-Jew is bringing it over here, it's all his grain. When he brings it over here to the granary, it's all his grain. When he starts putting it inside of the granary over there, it's all his grain. He's counting it, it's all his. Only after it's counted out completely does it belong to the Yid, does it belong to the Jew. So all of the malacha, all of the work that this non-Jew is doing over here is all for himself and not for the Jew. So much so, says the Kitzur, that the Yid, the Jew, is allowed to stand there and watch. He's really like guarding over there to make sure that the goy doesn't cheat him out over here and give him less grain than he deserves. Nevertheless, he's not allowed to speak to this non-Jew at all about the asik, about the transaction that is going on over there, because then it would be like he's getting involved in these actions. However, says the Kitzur, if the goy over here brings the Jew's grain, he has the Jew's grain in his possession, and he's bringing it to deliver it over here on Shabbos. He's not allowed to tell the non-Jew to unload it from the wagon into the granary. Even if the goy himself wants to load it, the Jew doesn't say a thing. He just decides that he wants to load it up or load it into the granary. You're not allowed to do such a thing. In such a case, you have to tell him not. You have to protest and tell him not to do it, because there, in that case, it's evident that the goy is doing things for the sake of the Jew, which we said before is something that's not allowed to take place on Shabbos. Have a wonderful day.